Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we are back again with another alliance where I believe this is War 5 of Season 22, and I'm once again situated at Path 1 and 1, asked to bring in Dr. Doom, Warlock and Human Torch. But quite immediately scouting forward I notice a potential issue with Elsa Bloodstone, and the key question there is she placed with Suicide Masteries active or not? And we're going to try and find an answer to that as we get there, basically. But there is a good chance I'm not going to be able to take the Path 1 in Section 2. And later on, that's going to come kind of back to bite me partially. But anyways, first we are going to be dealing with Path 1 in Section 1. And we are up against APOCO, very capable alliance. And we knew this war is going to be quite close. So I put on some boosts and get ready to jump into the first fight against Vision Arcus. Now I haven't seen Vision Arcus there too often, but Dr. Doom definitely is like a perfect counter for Vision Arcus. The key thing using Dr. Doom against Vision Arcus is not to accidentally fly past that first special attack and get into the second one, because you do need that level 1 to keep nullify those power gains, gain a chunk of power and prevent Vision Arcus from throwing his level 3. And yeah, other than that, there's not much to worry about in this fight. Now, he has Vigorous Assault and Vigorous Assault and Arc Overload, so he started the fight unblockable, but as soon as that is over, Mystic Dispersion has filled my power bar even further, and we can see that I get to the first level 3 extremely quickly in the fight, and the rest of the fight is pretty much sealed at this point as well. You can see the couple of hits there. Again, I needed to be very careful not to shoot past that first power bar, but after level 1 I am immediately pushed into level 3, which I'm going to drop now, and that will finish the fight without any problems, without any hiccups. And I can just focus on the next fight. And next fight is going to be super simple using Human Torch as well, because it's Mephisto. So Human Torch with a pre-fight ability against Mephisto is always a fun time. It's probably most people's favorite, or one of the favorite fights in Abyss of Legends. I know I thoroughly enjoy that, and even though he has Masochism and Indomitable, but the amount of smolders I should be able to get is going to be quite crazy if he activates his aura. Now, I will make a mistake there where I will not notice when my parry didn't land, or rather got shrugged off. But another thing that I'm looking at is because this is the same person who placed that Elsa Bloodstone, and I wanted to see if he has Suicide Masteries active. Now, you cannot see that at start because Masochism shrugs them off, but as soon as he throwed his level 1, you could see that recoil text pop up. So at that point I knew he has Suicide Masteries active, and that's also part of the reason why I messed up there. I was very focused on noticing whether he has on Suicide Masteries or not. So he does. That means it's a no-go for me in Section 2 on Path 1. And at that point I actually thought I'm not really gonna have any more fights this war. And this is the most overconfident, arrogant, stupid death in a war I could give away. And there is the Sorcerer Supreme. I wasn't actually assigned this fight. It's just that nobody was around and people seem to be stuck, but that's no excuse. And yeah, so I went in and I thought Human Torch is gonna melt this. So first I make this mistake where I do get hit a couple of times, but it's not the big deal. Still, I thought with Sorcerer Supreme dropping her special attacks, I can just block it all, get a bunch of smolders, and absolutely nuke this down. Now, she has Power Snack and Backup Recovery, so I don't want to trigger Dexterity even once past this point, and I obviously need to be careful with Backup Recovery. However, the problem is going to start soon after. Here we can see that she's at nearly 2 bars of power. At this point, I'm still not really worried. I'm just trying to bait out that level 2. But nothing's happening. And at this point, I did get worried already. Because, yeah, she's not throwing. And so then I just went in to do as much damage as I could, because I knew I'm dead. I'm dead after that level 3 comes. And funny thing is, I was quite cheap cheaping out as well on boosts, and especially on Indestructible 3 boost, which wouldn't even have helped because I did make a couple of slip-ups early on before that. And it's very unfortunate. I'm very mad at myself. I once again died a very, very silly death in a fight I'm not supposed to take, and that seems to be like a rehash from a couple of seasons ago where I died against Havoc using Warlock on that Footloose node. So yeah, I mean, we all have better moments in Alliance War and we all have worse moments, and unfortunately I myself and only I am to blame for this one because I did something I shouldn't have, and I apologize to my team for that, especially because this was extremely close war, and I just felt horrible. It did feel horrible. So I revived Human Torch and healed him up using the big boost just to make sure that I don't item out in case I am needed anywhere else. And obviously after I went back in the second time, the fight just went perfectly smooth and there was nothing to worry about, and that Sorcerer Supreme completely melted. Now the assignment for this fight was Void, so it kind of makes it worse, but anyways. I apologize to my team, to my officers, and then in day 2 they did ask me to help out with a couple of more fights, and namely this Professor X here on path 6, and I don't know, I just didn't really feel confident enough in myself anymore in the upcoming fights. I kind of felt that I already messed things up, and I put our team in a tight war, in much worse situation than we should have been in. But yeah, so this guy has aggression prowess and a couple of other nodes, and it's Professor X. So Human Torch is pretty much a perfect counter because Human Torch doesn't care about his falter mechanic, and Professor X has all energy attacks, so it will be able to build up a ton of smolders, and that's kind of like the base idea. Just hit him a lot and enjoy the smolders and free damage. I will make a mistake, however. That isn't going to be the biggest mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. I did notice that he's on 100 charges and I tried to block the level 1, which at that point was unblockable, but it didn't kill me, and it was easy enough to finish out the fight afterwards. So another very, not shady, but bad fight, I'd say. A very big mistake, which potentially could have costed me another death, and at this point I felt even further, as I'm not quite playing up to the standard I should hold myself to. But all that being said, we have another very, very hard fight here, which is this Dragonman and the Stunning Reflection, Polka Dot Power, Stun Vulnerability mini-boss. And this time I'm taking no chances. I feel that I'm not playing quite well enough. I'm going to use that Indestructible 3 boost in case I do get smacked with a level 3. And other than that, Human Touch obviously is one of the better options. It's still not super easy fight because you do need to land those incinerates before you can parry stun him, and then you need to keep an eye on the power gain. But obviously, Dragonman being a Mystic champion, you will get a ton of smolders. One thing though that I quickly noticed, and this was actually one of the few times I did get parried, so that pushed me back further in the corner, and at that point I was already stressing out because I did have to evade that heavy attack against the wall, and obviously, as we all know, if Dragonman gets you in the wall, he has the potential to finish out the fight extremely quickly, so I at no point felt comfortable in this fight, but I managed to sprint back up and finish out the fight, and I didn't get smacked, so I'm relatively happy with that. Didn't need the Indestructible 3 boost, but still, I had so much more peace of mind with it than without it. And that is it for today's war. Now, luckily, we as an alliance did perform amazingly well. We won the war, and we only died like 2 or 3 times in total, which made my death even worse. But as an alliance, we seem to be really hitting our strides. I'm well happy with my teammates, with how well they all did their jobs. And yeah, we tied in a very, very good win against a very tough opponent. And I'm super happy with that. But that is it for today, and yeah, if you like the video, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons. I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the